Drake is suing UMG and not Kendrick Lamar. And in today's video, I'm going to let you know exactly what is happening with this case and how there may be long-term effects from the aftermath of this case. With that being said though, get you something to snack on, maybe some Cheerios or some cranberry juice, and let's get right into this video. Before we talk about the exact reason why Drake is suing UMG, I'd like to clear up a public perception and why it may not be what you think. So, way earlier in this year, Kendrick Lamar hopped on a Future album, Future and Metro Boomin album, and it was called We Don't Trust You. And the song that Kendrick Lamar was on was called Like That. And in this, he takes several shots at J. Cole as well as Drake, especially Drake. Drake was by far the most biggest, ultimate, super mega target in this situation. But Drake took a little while to respond, but then he responded once, he responded twice, and then Kendrick was like, oh man, I'm not having that. So then Kendrick responded once, Kendrick responded twice, waited for Drake to respond, and then the second Drake responded, Kendrick Lamar responded immediately after that, and then he responded again with Not Like Us. And Not Like Us was a massive song that they pretty much took off everywhere. And this song actually got so big that it surpassed Tupac's Hit 'Em Up in terms of numbers. Bro, Tupac, like prime Tupac. Tupac's, one of his biggest songs was that diss against Biggie Smalls. Kendrick Lamar just passed his entire, like this is the biggest diss of all time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there's definitely a lot that goes into it though, because Tupac wasn't really in the same time period, bro. The streaming era has changed music as a whole, but this is still incredibly impressive to hold this record because it's been there for such a long time. But essentially the overall perception of this bout between Kendrick Lamar and Drake was that Kendrick Lamar completely and utterly smoked Drake out of his pajamas, bro. Like it was a very big victory for Kendrick Lamar fans. Everybody, you could not go on social media. You still can't go on social media because people would just be like, oh bro, like Kendrick goes to your favorite, he cooked your favorite artist, bro. He really pooped on your favorite artist. And coming from a Kendrick fan, I feel like a lot of other Kendrick fans at this point got so unbearable, and it almost starts to make Kendrick Lamar look bad, because like, why y'all glazing this hard, bro? Like super ultimate mega glazing. And I mean, I definitely think that Kendrick won the battle, but there is possibly more to it, and that is one of the biggest reasons why after this silence, Drake started suing. And the original perception was like, oh, Drake's just mad that he lost the war, so now he's like, oh, I'm coming at UMG. But this could be a lot deeper than that. And I know that numbers don't make somebody completely credible just because they're like, oh, I'm like the biggest guy out. But I feel like Drake definitely has a lot of managers who like stop him from saying some crazy stuff. As well as, why wouldn't he sue Kendrick Lamar for defamation of character? Well, that would make him look stupid. And why would such a big name make such a bold move to sue without having any evidence? And that leads me to this dramatic interlude. So Drake may or may not have some information over UMG because he has worked so tightly with them in the past. And most likely, I feel like a person of Drake's stature definitely has a lot of credibility in a lot of these areas just because how many people he has filtering him from saying too much. But there is a possibility, this is just all speculation, that he could be trying to take UMG's credibility because it is way easier to listen to an initial attack rather than if somebody is found innocent. An example of this is Rex Orange County, bro. I don't know if you guys know who he is. He makes music and everybody's seen him as a weird dude because he had a bunch of crazy allegations against him. But when he was proven innocent, nobody talked about it. And this happens a lot where if you have allegations against you, everybody completely closes their eyes the second you get proven innocent, and they just see you as a horrible, disgusting, disturbing person. The problem here with Drake is he's going at a very credible company, as well as the fact that he himself is not perceived in a great light. And I feel like he could have definitely took a lot more time if he was going to do this. But at the same time, that makes me wonder, does he have good evidence? And he does have a lot of valid points here, and I think that this is why it could be such a big deal, is because the thing about numbers being so high in terms of like this Kendrick Lamar diss, people have ties to radio stations and other big companies that Drake has equally benefited from to the maximum. Dude, he'll drop a video of him or a sound audio of him farting on a microphone, and people go crazy, bro. We had horrible Drake songs charting, like high on the Billboard Hot 100. It's sometimes even number one. And it wouldn't even be that crazy for Drake's song. Just 'cause it's like, oh, it's Drake, bro. He's the greatest of all time. Drake is not the greatest of all time. I feel like there's not a lot of people who genuinely think that. But Drake is a very intelligent person. I believe that he's definitely... I mean, Kendrick even said, bro, he's like, you're a master manipulator, dude. You're a horrible, disgusting, filthy, rotten, leeching monster creature. And essentially, Drake has a really good grasp of how the music industry works because of the fact that he's so high up in it. And you don't get that you don't get that high up on accident, bro. You do not become one of the biggest artists to ever grace music on accident. And also, people talk about the fact that Kendrick Lamar is way more loved, bro. Obviously, the more popular you are does not mean that you have the overall public bias, because Kendrick, bro, like he's Kendrick Lamar. Everybody loves Kendrick Lamar for the most part. And also, a bunch of other influencers, like YouTubers and stuff like that, talk about Kendrick Lamar adding a bias. There's so many people who give him this bias, bro. Anthony Fantano, a super ultimate Kendrick Glazer, bro. He just gave GNX a 9 out of 10. By the way, what are you talking about? It is not a 9 out of 10. However, though, I will say that GNX is probably like an 8 out of 10. That's my personal belief. If you guys want to check out my GNX video, I have that. You guys can watch that if you want. But that does not mean that you are the overall more liked just because you are bigger. And honestly, I don't think that Drake could have made T-Pab. And that's all I'm saying, bro. The overall perception is Kendrick is a better artist. And that's just that. And many influencers talk about that, bro. Like, there's so many YouTubers pushing it. Kendrick Lamar was making it so, or UMG actually was making it so people could have monetized content on Not Like Us. And they also share with radio stations so much, like, oh, like, all the labels are, like, tied to each other, bro. So it's really hard to make it if you don't have a bunch of people backing you. And the labels backing you is one of the biggest things that you can have before they completely toss you to the side. All this stuff like that, bro. They literally will push your stuff so far just so they can make more music and profit off of their deals. And something that's so interesting about this is UMG has been known that they'll push artists. Like, everybody knows that UMG will push tons of artists. And they've done that with countless artists. I don't even know how many people UMG has pushed onto radio stations. So many radio hits are just because other labels are putting them on, like, yo, play this, bro, for money. And then they keep getting paid, and then more money comes in, bro. It's tons of money being circulated. The rich get richer. You already know the whole hassle with that. But with that being said, this makes you wonder if music with too strong of an opinion against the person can be sued. Because obviously they're going to push this music. It's like the biggest thing out right now. Kendrick Lamar dissed Drake. So that makes you wonder, when is the line for this? Because all music has a lot of emotion and opinions behind it. When will we draw the line between what you can or cannot say before you get sued for defamation in music? Because there was a lot of pedo allegations that Kendrick Lamar brought out, and then UMG pushing this so much makes it kind of complicated of a situation. It's a sticky situation overall, bro. It's getting sticky, you know what I'm saying, on some chromacopia. But with that being said, this is pretty much what's happened so far. This is where we're at. Drake is suing UMG for defamation of character now, as well as overall, just misconduct, all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? With that being said, though, here are my socials if you guys want to check that out, or maybe even subscribe per chance. Just an option out there. It's just throwing it out there. Just throwing you up. I love you all very much. I'm conflicted, and I'm out. Peace. I hate UMG.